Welcome to Comspark. Today we are in Cincinnati, Ohio. My name is Olivia Kirry-Fuqua and I will be your guest host. I would like to welcome our guest, Bob Scott, the CIO of Central Clinic Behavioral Health. So Bob, a lot of companies are investing in the digital transformation age. They're moving a lot of their legacy applications, trying to modernize their support internally. What are you all doing as far as modernizing your environment to meet the demanding needs of the business?
Well, over the last several years, Ohio Medicaid has moved, and we're mostly a Medicaid shop historically. They've moved to new payment models, new ways of doing business. They've now contracted with managed care companies for us to do our billing. So historically, we've had a fairly simple system to be able to manage our billing, our clinical documentation. Those changes with Ohio Medicaid has required us to move to a cloud-based EHR. That has enabled us to keep our billing going and enabled us to stay ahead of the pack. There's still several agencies in Ohio that have not been able to bill Medicaid yet or not been able to bill the managed care companies. So our EHR and our internal team has done a really good job with managing that piece. We've also been moving away from standalone apps, moving to Office 365 to manage our productivity applications in our suite. Same thing with Exchange. We moved from an on-site Exchange environment to going to Office 365's Exchange. So we've been moving more and more towards the cloud, and we're going to be moving to OneDrive for all of our file sharing in the next year, and expanding access to our EHR to staff using their own devices.
Awesome. So, when you talk about outsourcing, leveraging things like the cloud, traditional IT operations, traditional IT roles, are you all looking at outsourcing or leveraging third parties to help augment some of the day-to-day responsibilities that your IT staff would generally be tasked with so that they can free up their time to work on more innovative and creative projects that are more business driving?
And that's what we've already done. We've had to with all the changes occurring. So most of our basic operations around our VPN, around our network management, help desk, basic infrastructure support has already been outsourced, and now our internal staff's focused almost 100% on business innovation, working with the fiscal office and working with our staff to make sure that their needs are being met in relation to their documentation that they need, their clinical support, as well as all the fiscal support that's required. So my job has changed dramatically in the last 5 years from doing mostly infrastructure work, managing servers, managing Exchange, et cetera, to really managing the business needs for the company.
Awesome. And you mentioned your fiscal officers. Do you feel like collaboration among business leaders to work towards common goals within the business, within the organization to get these objectives achieved? Do you find that collaboration has been pretty open and pretty helpful?
Yeah, yes. Our CEO has developed a business team for myself, the CFO, the CEO, our COO, and various other people that we need them to come in. Meets every 2 weeks now to focus on nothing but business management and business innovation. In addition, we meet with all of our program directors once a month to also get them on board, and I lead that meeting. So we've done a lot to give our staff a heads up about what has to happen and what's driving change, because most of the things driving change for us is external. As HIPAA requirements came on board, as new billing models came on board from the state, as we look to move to private insurance, we're having to change our business in relation to those requirements. Pardon me. So those are super helpful in keeping everybody on the same page, and helping me to communicate with leaders in the organization around the technology needs that are going to be in place in relation to the business needs.
That's great, and that's rare today to even have that type of collaboration from all levels of executive leadership, so that's awesome. Is there anything else you want to highlight, anything else that you all are doing, important projects, or anything you'd like to discuss today?
Just that we've been around for 80 plus years, so we have a lot of legacy systems, and we're working to use middleware or to rebuild in the cloud for all of our older legacy systems around forensics that we do. We're part of one of 13 forensic centers in Ohio, so we've had a massive amount of data in relation to that we're going to have to migrate to the cloud. In addition to that, we also have various, as all businesses do, little databases here and there that we're trying to get consolidated and moved to the cloud as well, and that's another big project for us for the next year. Other than that, I think we've been doing a good job of moving things from on-premises and restricted access to having people be able to work wherever they need to work.
Awesome. Well, appreciate you taking the time to meet with us today.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank Bob for joining us today and for those listening to the interview. To learn more, go to comspark.tech.